Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is our sort of data science and data analysis. And this is a massive rabbit hole again. You can really go into this, and especially if you're working in management or upper management, you can there's so much you can do with this. So this is just to kind of get you started, get you thinking about how you might want to use it in some different ways. Okay, so this is a spreadsheet I have of student data. Now, this is a fake spreadsheet, so I'm not using any real person on here. This is the names of the students. And let's say that this is a mock exam, and in this mock exam, there were 7 questions. Now, what I've done is I've said the topic of each question. So I quite like to do that when I do my mock exams, for example. I like to break it down. What's each question actually about? And then I'll use that to kind of help me inform, okay, what revision do we need to be doing for the majority of people? Or is there one area where a single student, I need to take them aside and say, okay, let's focus on this for a while. Okay, so here we have a variety of students, hopefully. Now, I want to be able to analyze this data. Now, I could do various spreadsheet things on here, like find the lowest on each topic or things like this. But let's say instead I take it to AI. I'm going to use Claude instead of ChatGPT. They're both very good. It used to be that Claude was better in some ways because you could upload and download spreadsheet data, but I think ChatGPT lets you do that now. And as you can see, my actual data I just got from ChatGPT. From Claude. I just asked it to make up a bunch of students with some grades so that I'm not giving out anyone's special information. Okay, so let's start a new, I'm going to start a new chat just to clear the memory. That's sometimes quite helpful, just to say, okay, let's start again. Let's imagine it's a new day. And what I want to do is I'm going to say, here is a spreadsheet of student data for the mocks in IGCSE Computer Science. I'm not sure you need to go into that much detail, but generally speaking, I feel personally like the more information you give it, the more it can kind of figure out what you want to do. Okay. Now I've got studentdata.csv. I thought I downloaded it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll just give it this one, which is not quite the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just one I changed to a spreadsheet, one I just left as a CSV file. Okay, so then I give it that data. Okay, it gives me a bit of a rundown of what it thinks it means. Okay, so now I could possibly ask it some questions. I could say, okay, tell me any trends you see in the data. Okay, and then it's going to give me a run through. So saying these are pretty good, it's giving me some things. Okay, so then it highlights some students. So for example, Amelia Morales seems to be doing well in programming. She's not good at other stuff. Gender, I've not put gender in there, but I know the school does collect on gender. They do collect on ALN students and things like this. It gives us our highest performers, gives us our weakest performers, but then I can ask it for more detail. Which topic should I reteach? Okay, so it's then saying, okay, if I'm going to reteach, maybe focus on practical and problem solving. Now, I could go into more specific things about individual students. So let's see who we got in here. Let's say I'm going to take Noah Verga. About how do you think we could improve Noah Verga's grades? This will work, but again, it can give us some insight. Okay, so then this is basically giving me a bunch of feedback that I can take individually for that student. and gives me some generic advice. So some of it's like, they can join competitions and things like this. But it gives me a list of his weaknesses, extra exercises, things. It's a bit generic, to be fair, this one. But obviously, the bigger your data set, the more information you've got, then the more detail it can be provided. And the good thing is you can build on year. So if you can feed it in the data from year on year, it can have a bit more of a context as to where students are expected to be and other things like that. Again, we have a pro version that allows us to build up more memory and work with there. But as you can see, basically we can use Claude or we can use ChatGPT to do data analysis, and that could be across the whole school if you were a manager. It could be in your subject or department, or it could just be as an individual teacher looking for ways that you can sort of target your teaching a bit more. All right, I'll leave this data set up for people to play with as well, or I'll link to that data set, and then you can try it through Claude or try it through ChatGPT, or maybe try it through both and compare, see which is best.